Welcome back to Unfiltered Kenny. I am so happy to be back in the podcast studio with you guys. There's going to be a number of things that we're going to talk about, but there is a couple of things that have been on my mind lately. And I'm not sure if you watched the debates the other night, and I told you I was going to get into this a little bit. But wanted to talk a little bit about black jobs, right? So President Biden and President Trump were going back and forth about, bringing back black jobs and whatever that meant. And I still don't understand really what that means, right? What is a black job? Is it manufacturing? Is it drug dealing? Is it being a prostitute? Is it going to a corporate job? So that really hasn't been defined yet, and I'm still wondering. So I feel like I went to my black job today, or white job. I don't know. Anyways, we're gonna get more into that as this election cycle goes down the line. Hopefully, we'll get some clarification on that because obviously, me being an African American male, I go to a regular job just like any other white person, Hispanic person, or whatever. So I think that was what they call a gaff. I think that's what they call it. But it's something that I've held on to because it really kind of made me mad when I was listening to it. So a lot of things from that debate that didn't make a lot of sense, but that one thing that I'm just holding on to dearly. So let me know in the comment section what you think a black job is. I'm really curious to know about that. So if someone could really let me know and hit me to the game on something that I'm not aware of, I would really appreciate it. So, I was at work today, and I was looking at X, formerly known as Twitter, and the Lincoln Project put out like this video about Project 2025, right? Not Project 2025. It's something like that. Project 2025, and I. I had my fears, right? Like I started reading, like I think I got through the first 9 pages of this 2025 project, and I was just dumbfounded. I could not believe the things that I was reading, the things that would be changed within the first 30 to 90 days. Just insane stuff. And another thing that was kind of funny to me is President Trump came out and said, "I had nothing to do. I had nothing to do. I don't know anything about Project 2025." Even though the people that are pushing the narrative are saying that he knew about it. So I don't know what to believe. I try to give him the benefit of the doubt sometimes, but I just really need President Trump to tell the truth for once. And let me just backtrack a little bit. So I don't know who's in Donald Trump's ear, right? This is a layup. This presidential cycle for him is a layup. Like, Biden is so bad right now that he could just lay the ball up and be the president, but he doesn't know how to act presidential, right? Trump is Trump, and Trump, you got to give it to him. His way, his antics, and the way that he was got him into the office the first time, right? Like, cool. But things have changed, right? We elected another president after that cycle, after those 4 years, and it was because everyone had, like, Trump fatigue. And when I tell you guys I had Trump fatigue, I was exhausted. I was worn out. I couldn't hear him talk. Like, so you know how like Biden, you never see him really talk at the press conference thing, whatever that they have at the White House, right? You never really see him. Like, remember every single day, 3 or 4 times a day, we would see Trump and we would hear Trump. And in my house during that time, we always had the TV going, so it was always on the news. And we would hear him, and it's just like his voice would just like my ears would start bleeding because half the time you didn't know what he was talking about. You'd be at work and you turn to the left to look at the TV and he's talking about injecting bleach. It was just crazy, right? So I say all this to say that this. I say this to say that. I feel like if Donald Trump started acting a little bit more presidential, then this is a shoo-in for him, right? And during the debate, he was extremely tamed. Like, he was extremely tamed. You could tell, again, like I said in the last podcast, that his team talked to him about it. They talked to him about being calmer. But he still was Trump, right? So I don't know if it's in him to be normal, whatever normal is. I don't even know what normal is anymore. But if someone really got into his ear and really talked to him about, hey, if you treated this like a normal presidency, you are in the White House. And then, again, like I was talking about earlier, I was on X today, and the Lincoln Project put out this video that just, I don't know. It may be embellished a little bit, and it may not be embellished a little bit according to only the 9 pages that I've read, right? I think it's over, I don't know. It's a lot of pages, but I want to show you this video. And again, it's from the Lincoln Project. If you, we're going to show it here on the screen, but let me know what you guys think. It's like a 4-minute video. I probably won't get through the whole thing, because I really want to know if I'm being paranoid, if they're making us be paranoid, because that's what they kind of do, or is this the truth? So let's go ahead and play the video and see what I'm talking about.
November 5th, 2024. Donald Trump defeats a divided and dispirited Democratic campaign. On January 20th, 2025, Donald Trump is sworn in as the 47th President of the United States. Unfortunately, he keeps his promises. Trump seizes control of a divided government, signing hundreds of executive orders implementing Project 2025. Trump replaces over 50,000 civil servants with hardline MAGA.
Okay, let's stop it right there. So, replacing over 50,000 workers in the U.S. government. Now, I want you guys to keep in mind, okay, that Trump was so close to doing this last time. This isn't far-fetched to me, right? Like, in any other time, you would think, okay, this is crazy. This is nonsense. What are we doing? What are we talking about? But we were almost there. Like a sliver of a little fingernail away from that actually happening. So, let's go on.
Oath of office now requires declaring loyalty to the president, not the Constitution. Protected by the Supreme Court's grant of total immunity for official acts, Donald Trump orders the Department of Justice to arrest members of the January 6th Commission, current and former DOJ employees, and political opponents for treason, election interference, and conspiracy.
Wow.
He declares it to be an official act.
And let's stop it right there. Let's stop it right there, because now we have the ruling from the Supreme Court that if it's done and conducted as a official act, right, it's okay to do. It's like no consequences to the president. Like, this ruling by the Supreme Court recently is something to look out for if Trump gets back into the office. Now, I'm not really sure how far Biden would push things in that realm, but you never know, right? Like, there is now an opportunity for the President of the United States to have total immunity as long as it's considered a presidential act. Kind of scary. Really scary. Okay, let's see more.
And turns millions of American-born citizens into illegal aliens overnight.
So Trump has already said that. Like, that might be a possibility.
Including legal U.S. residents and American citizens, are imprisoned in newly built camps.
Stop it right there.
Protests erupt.
So, newly built camps. This is where I think the fear-mongering comes in. I don't see anything like that happening, but you never know. So this is where I have an issue, right? Do we really see, and do we really think that in the United States of America there would be prison camps for political people, right? That did not agree with Trump. These are all the things that we have to start asking ourselves this question. We're going to continue to go down the rabbit hole of can he, because he dipped his toe in the water, right? It was dipped in there. Is he going to go for a full swim? We don't know. So these things, when I hear things like that, like I'm just like, I don't know. I don't think that it's going to get that bad. But I got one eye on him, right? One eye is on that dude because you never know. He flip flops, so kind of scary.
Trump addresses the nation, invoking the Insurrection Act and declaring the protesters a danger to American sovereignty. He orders the National Guard to use deadly force to suppress the protest.
Okay, stop. Okay. Deadly force to suppress protesters. I don't think so. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if we're gonna call the Democrats out for things or the Republicans out for things, I gotta call Democrats, which the Lincoln Project are Republicans, right? But like, to say something like that is like stroking fear into people. And I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't think that it's possible. I don't think that it's something that he would do. But I kind of understand the rabbit hole that they're trying to go down. And I feel like this is what the problem is with our country today. We are stroking fear in the minds of people that are vulnerable, that are already scared, that may have mental health issues already. So when they watch a video like this, you know what I mean? Like, they're probably going nuts. And I'll tell you, in 2020 or 2019, if I would have seen this video, I would have probably lost my mind. Like, that's how far down I was. That's how I was a never Trumper. I was like, he's bad for America. And that would have scared the crap out of me. So you never know. And I think that that's why we have to be careful. We have to be extremely careful of the kinds of things that we put out into the atmosphere, because there are vulnerable people out there still. So,
in the wake of the bloody violence, Trump declares nationwide martial law, awarding himself new powers under the freshly signed American Protection Order, which defines protest of immigration policies as non-protected speech and a threat to national security. Governors in New York, California, Illinois, and elsewhere declare their opposition, promising to refuse compliance in their states. Trump orders their arrests. Trump pardons every January 6th attacker.
I do see that. I do see him pardoning the January 6th folks.
Many are given jobs in his administration. The Department of Education is renamed the Department of American Values and mandates a nationwide Christian nationalist curriculum for all schools.
Okay, go ahead and stop that. So again, I'm not going to go through the whole video. That's all I'm going to play. If you want to go on to the Lincoln Project website, go ahead and take a look at the full video. But what I won't do is I won't fearmonger. I won't, I don't want to make people start thinking in a way of there's going to be total anarchy in the United States if Trump gets reelected. But I do want to let you know, again, like I said, on this podcast, there's going to be times in which we talk about both sides. And tonight, I watched that video earlier and I was mad. I was angry. I was upset that, I was thinking that maybe he could do that. But then, after thinking about it a little bit more, I have a lot more faith in our country than something like that. I have a lot more faith in the people that are governing our country. To see something like that, I just can't get behind, right? Like, I can't get behind it 100%. But again, like I said, I'm going to keep one eye on this dude and, see what happens. So, I really appreciate you guys taking the opportunity to walk through this with me. Again, I'm going to be pumping out more content. please, I see you guys watching the video. Please subscribe. I need some subscribers. Subscribe to, again, like, this is going to come out on the Unfiltered Idiots, under the Unfiltered Idiots brand. But I need you guys to engage with me, talk with me. Let me know what you're thinking. Are you scared? Are you scared of what's happening next? Are you a Democrat that's concerned about our presidential candidate? Are you concerned? Are you a Republican that is concerned about your candidate? The more you communicate, the more you talk to me, I'll engage with you. But we're gonna blow this thing up. I'm not gonna stop. These are just gonna keep getting better and better and better. So like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Unfiltered Idiots and Unfiltered Kenny. On the socials, Unfiltered Kenny and Unfiltered Idiots on Instagram and TikTok. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to view this video, and we will talk to you soon. Peace.